Staying in West Africa, a Senegalese court has ordered jailed opposition leader Ousmane Sonko to be reinstated on the electoral register, a ruling that could pave the way for him to run in a February presidential election. Sonko has faced a flurry of court cases over the past 2 years for charges including libel and rape, which he denies. Now, he was arrested in July for insurrection and was struck off the electoral roll, ruling him out of the February vote. Sonko's lawyer, Cire Cledor Ly, said a court in the capital, Dakar, overturned that decision on Thursday.
On est tous satisfaits. Le verdict, on le savait. Oui, parce qu'on sait que notre leader n'a rien fait. On devait lui donner son éligibilité depuis. Mais pour retarder les choses, on l'a fait tardivement. Mais dans ce cas, on est satisfait. Ouais, on est toujours derrière lui. Et il sera notre candidat, Inch'Allah, en 2024.
L'État du Sénégal, ils n'ont qu'à faire recours s'ils veulent. C'est leur droit absolu. Nous, on sait qu'on est sur le droit chemin. S'ils fassent le recours, et on va leur gagner encore. Parce que le droit sera toujours dit. On est dans un pays démocrate, comme le Sénégal. Là, moi, je n'ai pas peur de ce côté. Voilà. Macky Sall, il en a fini, donc il n'a qu'à se reposer, il n'a qu'à accepter. Abdoulaye Wade lui a cédé la place, il n'a qu'à céder la place à notre pro Ousmane Sonko.
kon tey Ousmane Sonko nañu xam ne le 25 février incha allah mooy nekk suñu candidat incha allahu rabbi justice moo ko delluwaat ci liste yi Macky Sall nag dañ nañ ko ko ñaan ci njëkk ñu ngi ko koy ñaanaat ci njëkk ñun na ko nañu dellool Ousmane Sonko ci liste yi ñun moom lañ bëgg ñun ba ñu koy xeexal ci Abdoulaye Wade 2011 lii lañ doon xeex Abdoulaye Wade bañ koo jaay doole kon tey moom bu demee bu bëgg a jaay doole Ousmane Sonko dañuy taxawaat continuer.
Now, to discuss this, we're joined by Galissa Boli, General Secretary of PASTEF, West Coast, USA. Thank you so much, Galissa, for joining us.
Thank you, Madam, for having me to address this topic.
My pleasure. Now, let's talk about the politics in Senegal. How do you think the Senegalese court's decision to reinstate Ousmane Sonko on the electoral register might impact the upcoming presidential election in February?
I think this is a great day. It's a day of freedom. It's a day of celebration. And as you know, it's even a great day for the whole continent of Africa. The biggest problem we have in politics is justice, because a lot of opposition people have been always sidelined. So today, for the Senegalese court to actually rule again, because if you remember, October 12 was the first time when Ousmane Sonko had win against the Senegalese government, which is Macky Sall leadership. So for us, this is a big, delivery, because Senegalese people now can happily and peacefully decide who's going to be their leader for 2024. If this election happened in Senegal without the main opposition leader and with all the experiences we had seen in 2012 and 2019, it would be such a disaster for a country that is known for keeping the democracy flag in Africa. So today, I think it's a day of celebration, it's a day of justice, and it's hope for African continent to see that we have a better future ahead of us.
Right. And do you think that there are potential implications for the political landscape in general and voter sentiment in Senegal?
Yes, there is. There is a big political, outcome out of this, because as you see in Senegal, we've been fighting for inclusion. Macky Sall leadership in the last 12 years was a total disaster for Senegalese population. So a lot of opposition people have been sidelined. A lot of opposition people today, as we speak, there's no opposition leader that haven't faced justice within the Macky Sall government. So today, to see actually the justice court, the justice system to reinstate Mr. Ousmane Sonko that was actually illegally taken out of the voters of Senegal. This is a great outcome. This is a big, occasion for these Senegalese people that only they have wished all these years is to have an inclusive, election, a presidential election where only decision that will be taken by the people.
Right. And considering the legal challenges and the accusations faced by Ousmane Sonko, and that includes charges of libel and the charges of rape as well, how will these allegations have influenced the public opinion about his candidacy for the presidential election?
It actually gave a population a bigger, like a better understanding of how government always use, like false accusation to sideline opposition leader. So this accusation, instead of like endangering Ousmane Sonko leadership or endangering his political career, have actually boosted, have actually made him gain more popularity, more actually understanding from the population. And if you look at his trajectory from 2019 to today on 2023, and we going forward for 2024, he is, as we speak, the only person we can say without doubt that if he goes to election in 2024, he will be winning the election with no second, like we won't have a second run. We won't have a second runoff. It will be done in the first day, like on the February 2025. I mean, 25th of February 2024, that we this upcoming election, because the whole goal, the whole need of government and the people on power was to trash Ousmane Sonko image, to make sure he is as called, so-called the politicians of Senegal that are like involved in corruption. He's like everyone else, he's like doing such a wrong things. So they blamed him. They made all these images to destroy his legacy, but his legacy was not destroyed. His legacy actually prevailed. His image actually prevailed, and his credibility is today way beyond imagination. So the Senegalese people are actually having a bigger hope, a bigger expectation, from Ousmane Sonko, because I know you guys know this. Ousmane Sonko did work for the Senegalese state for 15 years, and he never was involved in any corruption. And that is so difficult in Africa with the leadership being involved in government. And you say, I've been working for the government for 15 years and I never was corrupt, never was involved in corruption. So I think Ousmane Sonko's credibility today is actually beyond expectation. And we can see that in the impact he even have beyond Senegalese borders.
All right, talking about the court ruling now, what would you say that signifies in terms of independence and impartiality in the judicial system?
So it's a surprise for us. A lot of people were surprised by actually this court ruling today, because Ousmane Sonko has 7 cases that himself, went to court to call for justice, but those cases were never opened. So Ousmane Sonko against the Senegalese state was always brutality, was always, like the court favoring the government. But this is the second time Ousmane Sonko is winning against Senegalese government, like I said, on October 12th. So today, this court ruling is a big hope for justice. But also it's a great image that Senegal is sending to the rest of Africa to say that, we're not gonna allow any more opposition people being like sidelined by a system that would decide between the executive and the judiciary. So this is the freedom. This is today actually really a big celebration. And for us, the only hope we had also was justice. Because if justice cannot protect everyone, then that country doesn't have a bright future. And Senegal today have shown that we have a bright future waiting us. And I think what now, the government has another card to play, because they're still gonna call for the highest courts, which is possible, and they might not. But actually, with the lawyers from the government, we heard them, speaking. They're not satisfied with the decision. They're gonna call for the Supreme Court, to actually either overrule or confirm the decision from the Senegalese, from the Dakar court state. Yes.
All right, Galissa Bouli, General Secretary of PASTEF for West Coast, USA. Thank you so much for joining us and shedding more light on the development.